Okay, so third episode of this new series about artificial intelligence, AI, where again, in an attempt to understand AI's capacity for photography, we will focus on history via the profile of famous photographers of the past and present. So, as last week, we'll try to discover or rediscover a photographer that has marked his time, and thus we'll ask AI to explain and illustrate for better and for worse, just to feel a bit where it's standing compared to this. And again, I will rely on OpenAI, DALL-E for illustrations, and OpenGPT for the historical data, and yeah. So who's that mystery photographer? I tried to give a hint in the first photo, so yeah. So let's ask AI if he or she has an idea of this mysterious photographer's bio.
He is an American-French photographer known for his candid black and white photographs that often feature humor and irony. He was born in Paris in 1928 to Russian Jewish parents and moved to the United States with his family when he was a child. He began his photography career in the 1940s, working as a freelance photographer for magazines such as Look and Life. He has published several books of his photographs, and his work has been exhibited widely in galleries and museums around the world. In the 1950s, he joined the prestigious Magnum Photos agency, where he worked as a freelance photographer until the 1970s. He has been known for his street photography, portraiture, and photographs of dogs. He also has directed and produced documentaries and films.
Okay, so the photographer is Elliot Erwitt. So, okay, let's ask AI if she has an idea about what makes his style different from other photographers.
He is known for his ability to capture everyday moments, people, and situations in a way that is both humorous and humanistic. His photographs are often characterized by a sense of wit and irony, and his eye for the absurd and everyday.
Okay, so here we can definitely see that the choice of AI was to bring in some dogs. One of the major themes of Elliot Erwitt, of course. I do feel in those two pictures that there's a try at. There's definitely maybe like the last weeks. There's a try to bring the sensation of his work. There's something coming out. The choice of black and white, the way, for example, the dog on the right is shown with this firefighter's hat and looking at the fire truck. There's something coming in. There's some ideas, and at the left, this really nice and friendly relationship between those two. What we could believe is a man and what we could believe is a dog. It still is. The quality of the image is definitely not as good as a real photograph. It's kind of abstract, but we do get the sense, and I find it pretty impressive.
One of the key characteristics of his style is his preference for black and white photography, which he believed to be more expressive and timeless. He often photographed people in public places, capturing the candid moments that happen around us every day, and his photographs are often unposed and spontaneous.
Okay, so again, in those two pictures, I think it's doing a pretty good job. Uh, we can find a dog on the picture on the right, and we have this main subject sitting on I don't know what, maybe probably a bench, imaginary bench, because let's not forget those images don't exist. Well, they exist, but the scene never happened. But I really find there's some kind of humor behind it does remind me a little bit of Elliot Erwitt's work. Uh, I'm not sure about the picture on the left, but it looks like there's a big dog driving the pickup truck. I found that pretty funny, and the main human subject is kind of looking at us, wondering. It gives me the sense that wondering why we're taking the photograph, or Elliot, AI Elliot in that case. Um, Really interesting, and I like also the composition in both pictures. On the right, I really like the interaction between the man and the dog, and find really funny this picture of this woman kind of looking into the scene upright. I don't know. It may not look like his work, but there's something coming out of it. Let's hear more.
Another key feature of his style is his ability to capture the humor and irony in everyday situations. He has a talent for finding the unexpected and unusual in the seemingly mundane, and his photographs often have a sense of wit and playfulness.
Okay, so again, use of black and white. That's definitely a characteristic of his work. But I like the portrait on the right of this woman that seems half, well, it gives me the sense that the person is actually understand that there's a picture being taken of her. She's kind of smiling on one side and not on the other. Again, virtual pictures. So, but I do feel some kind of style coming from AI. Elliot is giving us something pretty cool. And the picture on the left, this man kind of uh, standing and holding to this pylon or whatever, or maybe not, just maybe looking at this street scene. Interesting composition. Again, not sure that the style of Elliot Erwitt comes out, but there's definitely a try by AI to do something about it. Okay, as we have kind of an AI Elliot at hand, let's maybe request a custom creation. So again, it's going to be completely my decision, but let's go for two funny clones and a dog catching a frisbee in the center of a city square. One eating a hot dog in the style of Elliot Erwitt. Will it even be close? Let's see. Ta-da! And here are the two first results. A little, I think we kind of lost part of what made the sensation where the style could come out in the pictures we saw before. I don't feel it as strong in those results. And then the scenes are kind of discussable. What did AI try to bring about? I feel that on the picture on the left, that actually the man seems to be eating something like a hot dog. The dog definitely is looking at the ball, but it's not a frisbee. But he could be. I guess AI kind of didn't really know the fine understanding between the ball and the frisbee. At least that's how I asked it. I don't know. Is that woman under the ball? Does she look like a clown, or is it a woman actually? Well, hard to say. But one thing we can see for sure in both pictures, on the right we have the clothing for the man on the right definitely looks more clownesque, but we can see that the architecture is kind of old European style. So AI definitely has an idea about that. Same thing in those two next pictures. Here again, the frisbee is hard to see. I'm kind of losing the Elliot Erwitt style. At least trial from AI to get close to in those two pictures. But on the left, we could imagine that the person on the left is a clown, but hard to say. The dog is kind of looking at. He's waiting for a frisbee, but there's no frisbee there, and I'm not sure even if there's a hot dog. Maybe the man on the right has a hot dog. And the color picture on the right, obviously AI went to color in this case. Put some red on the nose of one, put some colors that might look a little bit like clowns. And the dog definitely is looking to try to catch something. Though there's a try. There's a try to do something. I can't see any hot dogs there, but anyways. And the last two examples, I always go increasingly towards something I find interesting. So it's again, it's my choice. But AI proposed those two pictures. The one on the left, I think, is the funniest I got from AI. That kind of brought some feel from Elliot Erwitt. Even so, again, I think it's not as good as the other pictures we had before. I definitely feel those three men look a little bit like clones, like stooges, and the dog is maybe holding something. I don't think it's a frisbee. It looks more like a ball, or maybe a scoop of ice cream. And I'm not sure they're hot dogs. They're not eating hot dogs. It looks more like they're eating vanilla ice cream. But anyhow, I kind of like the composition, the frame. There's some humor in it. yeah, I kind of like the left picture more than the right, but the right I found funny because there's definitely a frisbee flying in the sky. It seems like this animal that kind of looks like a dog is looking at it, and it kind of implies that he wants to catch it. He's kind of interested. And then these two men are dressed a little bit like clowns, and the one on the right that's kneeling, half kneeling, looks like he's trying to eat his hot dog, and the other one holding a hot dog. So I think those two pictures were the best I got from the small series, and yeah. But anyways, it's always a pretext. This series is a pretext to rediscover photographers because all the information you heard before and the images, obviously, you have to check more. It's nothing. Nothing is really totally reliable here. So I really, you should really go look around, look and rediscover, or yeah, or go and check again the work of Elliot Erwitt. Super interesting, either online or in books, even better. And yeah, catch you next week for another photographer.